though, my afro. Just want to get on here and talk about Chicago. So, first a little music. Little music. Slow swing. Just a little bit. Like this. Hey, a little bit of swing. Chicago! Chicago is lost. What happened? What's going to happen? What is happening? Can it be stopped? Are the rest of the cities going with it? What do we got? Chicago, baby. Chicago's lost. What are we doing? Little jamulation. All right, enough of that. All right, all you ne'er-do-wells. All you hipsters. Let's talk about Chicago. Who did it and why? What's going on with the Windy City? Why is Chicago in such disarray? Why is Chicago in such disarray? What do we know? Here's what we know. Walmart decided they wanted to pull out of Chicago, so they pulled 4 stores out of Chicago. I'm not sure what area it was, but there was a big hue and cry to get Walmart to stay. Walmart said, no, tired of you guys stealing from us. We're losing a lot of money. And we don't want to do it anymore. We don't have to stay. We're a private organization. We're not government. You can't make us stay there. So we're going to leave. Since you guys don't appreciate us, you want to start fires, kill people, steal everything in the store. We had enough. And the people, after the, politicians came out and tried to get in front of it, and people tried to, shame Walmart, they got raided. So people went into Walmart and raided the stores. They took everything that they could, ran out with it, and there was a young lady, like other people, who went in the store, and she was like, look at the store. She was doing a whole video. She says, I can't even buy my children food. She says, I'm not here to steal anything. I just want to buy some food, but I can't even do it now because look at the condition of the store. There was everything was strewn about. It wasn't pretty at all. And you might as well pick stuff off the floor and try to, if you're looking for canned goods, they were all over the floor. Just everything. They took everything that they could, but there was still some stuff there, but you have to pick through it. And I mean, it looked like a war zone. It really did. So she was like, I can't believe that Black people did this, but you can believe it. Also recently, Chicago teens, middle school, high schoolers, what they do is they hang out at bus stops. And when they pretty much choose to, if a car is stopped, they will go and jump all over the car and do all this damage to cars. And there'll be like 100 of them. And I'm not making that up. They'll be in like at least packs of 30 or more. There's so many of them. They're also known for jumping people. And this is not only in Chicago. New York kids do this too. They'll jump you in a heartbeat. They'll jump an adult. And I mean, they'll pack you out. What up, Hardaway? We'll talk later about your leg press. Not trying to, I mean, we can talk about it, just not right now. Yeah, but I made that video because, you. So we can talk about that. You know how this goes. I get the subject matter out first, and then we talk about whatever. So anyways, they, so they're catching people at red lights, and they're jumping all over their cars, causing much damage. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. Chicago is facing what Detroit faced. Now we know the whole of Chicago is not in on this, but we do know that middle-class people are the ones who hold up these cities. It's not the rich. It's definitely not the poor. It's the middle class. Middle class working people, middle class mom and pop, middle class people hold up each city. Middle class is the largest demographic in the United States. It's middle class. Okay, when it comes to finance, it's middle class. When it comes to the rich people, there's not a lot of very rich people. There's not a lot of millionaires. When it comes to middle class, there's more than anything. So you got a family on the south side, and let me tell you, my family don't want me going nowhere by myself. Yeah. They got 8 and 9-year-old shooting assault rifles. So there it is. Now, here's what's going to happen. Detroit went through something like this. However, what happened with them was business deals. Iacocca and those guys pulling out of GM, and once GM and those factories shut down, what happened? The middle class pulled out. You can go to Detroit and you can walk through whole skyscrapers. They're all empty. And you can find like desks and computers in there. It looked like they pulled out of there quickly. They left everything. You can go in whole office buildings, whole skyscrapers, all abandoned buildings, all abandoned. People left in a hurry, and nobody cares if you go in these buildings. As a matter of fact, the police tell you, look, go in there at your own risk. You're going to find dead bodies in there. It's completely up to you. You do you, but the police aren't coming to help you. It's almost like Miami and Paradise Lost back in the 80s. Yeah, we're not coming to help you. We know that crime is terrible in this area. We're not going to help you. So don't call us when you walk into, you're trying to be an explorer, YouTuber. Look, this area is bad. There's no one here. There's, drugs everywhere. It is a terrible place to be. When the middle class pulled out, because all those jobs pulled out, that city started to sink. And it hasn't fully recovered from that yet. I have an aunt who lives in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? She lives by herself. You know what I'm saying? She's got kids around, but nonetheless, she lives in Detroit. So we have to look at Chicago and go, when are the middle class people going to have enough of our crap? And what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is it's going to sink like a rock. When there's no one there but the poor people, it is going to be Mad Max and Thunderdome. And let me tell you, they're going to fight it first. They're going to beef up police. There's going to be some kids killed. The cops, listen. Listen. This is one reason why I don't go to Pittsburgh anymore. Because the cops in Pittsburgh, they can kill you and laugh about it. And that's because the gangs where I'm from, they have lost their damn minds. and they go out and stand on the corners and represent. We represent this corner. We represent this corner. They go out there and they do it. It's outrageous. So the judges and the politicians are like, we don't want to lose our city. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give the power to the police to knock anybody's goddamn head off that won't listen. We're sick of the BS. We're tired. Now, last time I was in Pittsburgh, because I used to go down there and club, it was a long time ago. But I got in a conversation with this one young lady. She says, I lost 30 friends in 1 year. 30 of her friends are dead in 1 year. Chicago's worse. Now, this woman had no need to lie to me. I just met her in a club. We had great conversations. She says, I lost 30 friends in 1 year. And she was telling me how desperate it is. And this is 15 years ago. She was telling me how desperate it is for women to find a man. She's like, you have no idea what it is out here. And this is 15 years ago. Matter of fact, it's 08, 09. She's like, listen, it's crazy out here. And another woman I had met pretty much at that same club because I kept going back there. The ladies were beautiful. I went to her house in Bloomfield and I was talking to her from, I was on the block and she was at her window and she said, listen, you should go home now. I was like, why? She said, because this is where the cops killed Johnny Gamage. I was like, damn. Like, do you understand the fear that people are living in? You understand that? Chicago teens have lost their grip. Matter of fact, a lot of these teens have lost their grip. Here in Columbus, Ohio, one kid in high school decided to stab another kid. I'm telling you what's going to happen. They're going to crack down on it as hard as they can, and there's going to be some dead kids and some disappointing parents, and they're going to straighten it out like that, or they're going to abandon us. They're going to say, you guys are on your own. We're finished. You're not going to get any help. You're not going to get any first responders. You're not going to get police aren't coming to your area. We're going to block off this area. You guys, we're going to know you by name. You're not going to be able to register to any school. You're going to go to one school. We're going to keep you guys in one area. We're going to know who you are. If you try to come to the suburbs, as soon as we see you, we're going to arrest you. We're going to make sure you guys stay in the filth that you created. You're not going to get police. You're not going to get firemen. You're not going to get first aid, this, that, and the third. And all the politicians are going to be well aware, and we don't care how much crime you do, this is what you created. And you're going to grow up in this filth because none of you are going to have a job. None of you. You think they won't do it? If you don't think they won't do it, you haven't been paying attention. Look at New York. Look at the projects in New York. They're sick of them too. They're sick of them. They're sick of them drug dealers in these projects. They're tired of the BS. They're sick of look what they did to Caprini Green and Talbot Tires and Pink House projects. They're sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of it. Get out. Everybody out. Out and shut down the whole thing. Tear down all the projects. We're done. Find somewhere else to live. That's what happened to the place I live. They said everybody has to leave. We don't care where you go. Find somewhere else to live. They're going to do this to you because they've already done it. And let me tell you what they did when they kicked us out. They actually did an experiment. We thought they kicked us out because of the rats and roaches. That isn't why they got rid of us in Town of Tires in Braddock, Pennsylvania. You know why they got rid of us? They came down to our projects. There's 5 buildings. There's there's 5 buildings. There's 7 floors, and there's 6 apartments. Well, there's 5 apartments in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 apartments on each floor. Now back then it was pretty much full. There was a lot of in and out, but it was pretty much full. So there was, one A, B, C, D, and E building. And A building was a high rise. So when you get old, you go there and live. It was the nicest building. That's where the old people live. Their elevator actually worked all the time. Here's what these white people did. Here's what the government did. They came down and they watched us. And we knew something was up because they just came and they just kind of looked. They looked around our whole area. We had a football field, we had a basketball court, we had a tennis court, we had a playground, and we lived on a dead-end street, and at the end of that street is the steel mill. It's still there today. Behind us is a river. Across the street is Duquesne and Kennywood Park. So if you want to know the landmark I'm talking about, you can look those things up in Braddock, Pennsylvania. So what they did was when they looked and they saw our situation, they gambled. They said, I bet if we clean this place up, either this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Let's just see. They came down, they cut all the grass. They got all the glass out of the grass. They made it actually, inhabitable. They put these flower pods out, planted these beautiful flowers. They painted the playground. They painted the basketball and tennis court. They put up a tennis net. They put up basketball nets. They didn't give us any basketball or tennis stuff, but they did their due diligence is what happened. They spent a lot of money. And when they came down and did it, they were dressed in hazmat suits. They were dressed in these white suits. It was the summer-loving government. Bro, it wasn't local anything. It wasn't the local nothing because they ain't have no money coming through there. It was the government that did it. And they watched, and after they were finished, they stepped back to see what happened. First thing left was the flowers. These kids went out and they tore the flowers right up off the ground. And my mother lived on the 4th floor, and I watched her crying as these hellions tore up the flowers. She was like crying. She was like, why are they tearing up the flowers? They're tearing up the flowers. They tore the tennis net down. They tore the basketball nets down. They put a big ass white fence up and painted white fence, and they painted it. It was beautiful. Tore the damn fence down. We used to play Spider-Man on the damn fence once it already came down. I'm telling you, they tore the whole thing up. And then once they did that, they said, it's done. We're finished. That's when a letter came, and they said, everybody has to leave. That's it. Then they tore the projects down. The government no longer paid for these places. And this is when I was a child. I'm telling you now, you don't know who you're messing with. You have no idea who you're messing with until the government rolls in and shuts things down. You're not crazy. You don't know crazy until you piss these people off. You will be living in a damn barrel under the ground. And they won't give a damn what happens to you. Keep provoking them and see what happens. You will be on the street begging, starving, selling your ass just to get a Snickers bar. These people are not playing. These kids, I don't know where they live. I don't know whose parents they are, but these parents, I don't know. I don't know. Like, they know the names of these kids who are causing this ruckus. And I'm not talking about just Chicago. I'm talking about all these youngsters who are lost their damn mind. All over the country. I'm telling you now, if they keep it up, the government will mobilize, and you're going to see a lot of homeless people. And they're not going to be homeless on programs. They're just going to be homeless, aimless people. And if they get too rowdy, they're going to round their ass up, and they will send you somewhere. They will have a place for you to go. They will come in your house and snatch you. If you haven't been paying attention, they already do stuff like this. Listen, when these riots happened for George Floyd, you know what they were doing? They would pull up in a black van, and there would be protesters out there. They would tell the white girl to go away, and they would grab the black girl, put them in the van. They hop out with the 223s, be like, you move, you in the van. You don't think that they can do this, you're out of your damn mind. There's going to be a lot of missing kids. And nobody's going, listen, all this, please help find, it's not going to be please help find. They're not going to be missing because somebody snatched them up. It's going to be the government. Listen, the government is already taking your money. You're driving down the street and they stop you and they search you and you got some money, they're taking it and they're saying, get a lawyer, see if you can get it back. $68 million in 1 year from seizing it from us. And sometimes they go right into your bank account and take it. And they're taking it from mom and pops. Somebody needs to send out they need to have a town meeting. And they need to tell these black kids, they need to tell these parents, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Because as soon as they got I Spy everywhere. As soon as they find out who you are, and they probably already know, if they know your kid as a rebel rouser, they're going to cut you off of your finances. And some of you single mothers, you're in a world of hurt. You're in a world of hurt. Some of you single mothers who are not reining your kids in, you're in a world of hurt. Some of you are going to find that you're no longer working where you think you're working at. You're going to be terminated. Your job doesn't have to tell you jack. You're just going to get fired. You're going to post and, oh my God, I'm fired. But you're not going to tell everybody what a little hellion you have in your house. And you think it's cute. My kid's so bad. Yeah, it's cute now. Until they listen, we can't deal with your kid. You don't want to deal with your kid? Fine, we're going to deal with you. You just lost your house. We're done. You don't think they can take your house? They can take your house right from you. They took this woman's mobile house. She lived in a mobile home, and they gave her the option to buy the mobile home, and she said, bet I'll do it. She worked, she saved up all her money, she bought the mobile home. They sent her a letter a couple weeks later and said, we sold the property under the mobile home. You have to move the mobile home. She was like, I just spent all my money buying the mobile home. They said, you either move the mobile home or we're taking it. They took it right back from her and kicked her out of her own spot. Y'all are not ready. Y'all are not listening. Y'all are not listening. Y'all are not listening. They're going to snatch what's yours right up off of you, right up from under your feet. It's going to be bam. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Not one. You either rein these kids in or they're going to make you pay the piper. And you're going to be sitting outside on the sidewalk in the middle of a Chicago winter. I'll read some of your comments now. Chicago suppressed the murder rate, genocide. Oh, surpassed? I think that's what that says. Look for my glasses. I don't know, my other glasses are. Surpassed the murder rate genocide record that was set by South Central Los Angeles and New Orleans. New Orleans had the highest at one point. She talked a good game, but things got worse. Yeah. I was on a diatribe, so I couldn't just stop and read those. But yes, so Chicago's in trouble. And I think Chicago's lost. I think the more these kids do, and the more they spill up into the suburban areas, I think the more they go up into these suburban areas, I think the more it's just going to get bad. Listen, it's not safe in Chicago. You even have TikTokers saying, listen, if you come to Chicago for All-Star Weekend, I'm going to tell you, there's some places just don't go. They're like, do not go to these places. You will get robbed. You might not come back. Like, no mayor wants to have that kind of information disseminated about his or her city. And you're purposely doing this. You're purposely killing people at will. You're purposely robbing good people broad daylight. You're making a living doing this. They're going to catch up to you and your parents. See, it's one thing to say, man, I can do time. I'm 19. I'm 18. I'm 17. So what? You're going to put me in jail 5, 10 years? I can do that. Okay. What about your grandmother? What happens when they go after your grandmother's house? The home you used to run over to all the time because she's old and you can get it over on her because she loves you. What happens when they come to your grandmother's house and kick in her goddamn door? And they're not nice about it whatsoever. You don't think they'll do it? They just did it to a woman. It was a case of mistaken identity, but it didn't matter. Went in her house and grabbed her, and her 2 daughters were trying to get the cops off them. They snatched her up, beat her up a little bit, took her, put her in the car, took her down to the station, and then identified her and said, oh, sorry, we got the wrong person. Yeah, what happens now, tough guy? You're 17, 18. No big deal. You can do 25 years. What happens when they run up in your grandmother's house? Because that's what they're doing. And they wreck the whole house and then claim immunity. You haven't been paying attention. Cops have immunity over some of the things they do. This is why they don't go to jail. And if you take them to court, you're actually suing the city. You're not suing the cop. That cop is going to keep doing what he's doing, or she. They're going to keep it up. And they can just go from house to house. Each one of you that they have on a list, they can go, we're going to wreck all of your homes and we're going to keep doing it. And no judge is going to put us in jail. No politician is going to push for a sentence. Not one. We have immunity, and we're going to keep doing it because you assholes are terrorizing people. Let me get some understanding out here. There was a case where these youngsters, 20-something-year-olds, decided they wanted to rob this area not far from me called German Village. They went down there, couple weapons at hand. Old lady come to the door, back her down, put her in a chair, tie her up. They didn't beat her up. And then they proceeded to steal everything that they wanted in this old lady's house. They did this to a couple more old people. That cops was like, we got some serial robbers on our hands, right? Boom. What just so happened to one old lady they did it to was like almost 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they drew a pistol on her and everything. So once they caught up to these brothers, and they were black dudes, they told the judge told the one dude, he said, you're going to jail for the rest of your life. And he was like, why? I never hit her. The guns we had were fake. He said, yeah, but you're a menace to society. They can put you in jail for being a repeat offender and say you're a menace to society and put you in jail for the rest of your life. So if you're thinking I'm 18, 19, even 16, 17, even 12, and you can just get away with it and it's funny, keep jumping on people's cars. Keep robbing these stores. Keep beating up old people. Keep it up. Keep it up, because when they catch up with you, you're going to go before the judge. And that judge is going to put you in a single cell because you're a menace to society. Let's get this straight. If you're a menace to society, you're going to be looking at 24-hour lockdown. You're not looking at General Pop. You're a menace to society. Any society. They're going to put you in a 6x9 for the rest of your life. You're going to go crazy. They're going to do it to you. And you're not going to have a bunch of visitors. You're not going to have a bunch of commissary. You're going to get the bare minimum. And you're not, and the thing about it is, your friends are going to get the same thing. That's it. That's it. That's going to be it. They're just going to throw away the key and forget about you. And this is how they're going to clean up the streets. And listen, even though it sounds almost inhumane, it's not. And once they do this to you, your family is going to find out about it. Your family is going to talk about it. They're going to make TikToks and all this goofy stuff about it. And guess what? Other families are going to say the same thing happened to their child. The same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And the word's going to get out, and this is exactly what they want. You got a metal toilet. You have a steel bed. You have one blanket. No pillow. Enjoy the rest of your life. Enjoy these concrete walls and a steel bar. Enjoy the light that never goes off. Never goes off. That light never goes off. It never goes off. That light is constantly on. Enjoy the rest of your life. Have fun sleeping. Have fun. Have fun trying to stretch out. Have fun. You can actually lay down and touch one end to the other. One wall to the other. It is tight in there. This is where you're going to stay. And nobody's going to care because you terrorize people. And you're a menace to society. This is not what you want to hear if you ever face a judge. But this is what these kids are going to, these females, they're not built like that. They're not. These 14, 50-year-old girls run around doing what everybody say because they think it's cool. You're not built for this. You're not built to be alone in a black cell by your damn self. You're not built. You're not. You're going to cry for years. You're not going to cry for a minute, not a day. You're going to cry for years. And you're going to beg to get out of there. And they're not going to let you out. They're going to feed you, they're going to give you medication, and that's where you're going to rot for the rest of your life. You're not going to be able to get a degree. You're not going to be able to get paroled. You're not going to be able to get somebody to pay you to your way out of there. No, you're a menace to society. You got life. And they're handing these sentences down today. They don't care. He said the guns were replicas. They weren't even loaded. They were fake guns. He said it doesn't matter. You kept doing it. Judge said life. As far as I know, he's still in jail. This happened 12, 13 years ago. Life. Him and his homies. But he was the ringleader. Gave him life. Nah, bro. We're not doing that. I'm telling you, they're going to come. They're going to tear down the projects. They're going to tear up your neighborhood. They're going to completely wreck your grandmother's house. They're going to wreck your mom and dad's house because you think that you can get away with it and your parents haven't stopped you. Now, here's the one reprieve that they might have. They might go to some of these single mothers and mothers and fathers, and they might realize that your kid is just a terror. It has nothing to do with you. Your kid is just bad, and you're actually good people. You know how they do that? A social worker. Social worker just comes out of the blue and knocks on your door. You're like, hey, what's going on? Say, hey, we'd like to talk to you about little JKK, your little 15-year-old. Yeah, because, he's been doing this, that, and the third. Yeah, I'm a social worker. I was in here by the county. So, I just want to talk to you guys. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to you guys. I want to know how you guys are doing. What's going on with you? And they're going to size you up. They're going to size you up. And they're going to listen to you. They're going to say, oh, this person works at, blah, blah, blah. The father, he works at blah, blah, blah. Good jobs. They're going to look you up. They got your socials. They're going to see if you guys got records, if you guys were out there doing crazy stuff. They're just going to see it. And if they see none of that's happening and KK is just a wild boy, they're going to be like, okay. You're like, okay, we see what it is. Thank you for talking to us. And they're going to leave, and that's just going to be that. And when they come to get to KK, they're going to leave you alone. Yeah. But him, he gonna be mad as fire. They gonna lock him up for months by his own damn self until all that fire gets up out of him. Then they're gonna put him in general pop. About time it's all over with, he might be 30 years old. If he gets released back into society. If. It's not a game you want to play. And these white folks who control this nation are tired of the BS. They're tired. Listen, they've been tired of us. I'm going to tell you that now. They was tired of us when I was a child. They've been sick of us. They have plans for everyone. Every single person. They take models from every society that there is. And look how deep this is. The Asians, the Chinese in particular, I believe, it was a Chinese doctor back during, I think, the Second World War. And what he was doing is when they got hold of prisoners, they would send them to some asylum, and he would get a hold of these prisoners, and he would do the most outrageous tests on these prisoners. He would cut them up and see how long they could survive. He would bleed them out. Yeah, it is very noisy. He would bleed them out. He'd bleed a woman out. He would do all, cut her midsection open just to see how much pain they could take. He had no love for females, children, nothing. There was no reprieve. And he would take all this information and he would write it down. He said, subject, the female, 25 years old, laceration to the mid torso. We cut out the, to the back. We separated the latimus dorsi from the shoulder. And no anesthesia. No, and then he's writing all of this down because he's watching this woman get sliced up and yelling and screaming at the top of her lungs. And they're separating her, they're pulling her intestines out and she's alive. Large intestine, small intestine, she's still kicking and screaming. They want to know how many organs they can take out of her and him. This is what they did to people. When the United States found out about it, you know what they did? They said, hey, can we have that research? We'll pay for it. Why would the United States want that research? They bought it from them. Why? Look, you don't know who you're playing with. They bought instead of saying this guy is a demon, blah, 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 they recognize exactly what he did. He did all of the legwork for the United States. He did all of the legwork. His countrymen suffered that. He was like, Pete, can we buy that from you? They bought it from him. You'd think they'd go in there and shoot him in the head. No, they admired what he did and they used the information. Just like the Tuskegee experiments. You ain't got no idea what you're up against. You have no idea. You got no idea the level of crazy that America is. No idea whatsoever. And yes, jail. Jail is not only noisy, it is meant to break you down. Listen, for those of you who've never been to jail, they have different cells in jail for different reasons and for different amounts of people. When you first go there, they put you in a 30-man tank, meaning 30 people can fit in here comfortably. There's metal benches that are, built into the wall. It's concrete floor. You get your outfit and a pair of slippers and a bologna sandwich. And this is after you done waited for hours. It then depends on if you're a felon or if you, a misdemeanor, whether you're going to get strip searched or not. If you're a felon, you get strip searched. Put you in an orange suit. You know what I'm saying? Put you in that 30-man tank, and you wait there for 8 hours in that tank. There's no TV, no nothing. People are mostly sleeping. Some of them are strewn about on the floor. And then they call your name. Then they put you in a smaller tank, and there's about 30 people in there also. And then you're in there for a couple hours, and then they call you out in a whole line of you, and you follow this line with your blanket and your toothbrush and your cup and your little bit of soap that doesn't clean the damn thing, and they open the door and you follow this line, and all the police are standing there watching you. The police. There's guards and then there's the cops. And this is just in processing you. It takes about a whole day. And you're in there with every rowdy bastard that they brought in. You're watching people who snuck in, perk 30s, and watch them take all the perk 30s right in front of you, handful, per 30, not one, not two, handful, in front of you're there with this crazy West Side asshole who just took a bunch of per 30s, looting, tweaking. You're there with the local drug dealer telling everybody don't say nothing to him and he can't sit still. And you're there with the dude who just killed another dude at a party. That's you. You're there. You're there with the Chinese dude who's banging his head up against the wall. Bang, 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 up against the metal bars. He's banging his head against the metal bars. He ain't see that and say nothing to nobody. He's banging his head against the metal bars. You know why? Because this asshole got challenged one day when he was drunk with his friends to do something crazy, and he calls, he sends a letter to President Bush and says, "I'm gonna kill you." Fed showed up at his door, snatched him up, put him in jail, and left him there. And he's in a cell with you. With you, banging his head up against the wall. Don't speak. He don't speak to nobody. You're there with the 6'8" white dude who they just kicked out of the kitchen because he didn't want to do KP. This dude was so big he was spilling over the bed. They did not want to wrestle with this giant. You're there. That's you. You're there. Hope you ate your Wheaties. Because when one of these crazies lose their mind, they're looking at you. Good luck. Hope you've been going to the gym. You're going to need it. You're going to need every ounce of ability, fighting ability you have, because you're there with them. And there's no way out. There's a TV, there's your bunk beds, there's the bars, there's the wall, there's the bathroom, and there's the door. When that metal door shuts, it is all you. And then you got the holding cells when you're going to court. And they're the worst. Because they're so small. So if you're any bit of claustrophobic, if you're claustrophobic, you better not jaywalk. Anytime a cop says something, you better say, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full. They got some of those cells you can't even sit down. They're not even 3 feet wide. They are made so you stand there. And you stand there with no seat. You have to stand. And this is before they put you in a cell. You have to stand. That's it. And you're watching people walk by and you're standing there for hours. And they're just ignoring you because they don't need to pay you any mind until they call your number. They open that gate, call your number, take you to your cell where you're going to be for the duration. It's your new home. One guy was in there for 6 months. He's like, I've been in here for 6 months. He said, they haven't gave me a speedy trial or nothing. I was like, what you do? He said, well, some women I know, they got caught with drugs at the airport. 4 chicks got caught with drugs, and they all turned around and said, I was the person who gave it to him. He was trafficking drugs. They all had drugs in their vaginas. They got caught. You don't get a speedy trial if it's federal. He was in there because it was federal. There's no speedy trial at federal. It's only city and state. He was in there for 6 months. He hasn't seen a judge. They had one guy in there. I was like, what did you do? He's like, yo, I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm like, I am too. He's like, cool. He's like, yeah, Cops was, on my ass, and I ran. Except, I was in a car. So, I had a high-speed chase. I wrecked the car. They caught up to me. They beat me up, and then they bring me here. I've been here for almost 2 years. And after I do my time, they're taking me back to Pittsburgh to do more time. Another guy was in, I was like, what'd you do? He was like, I killed a man. Or at least they say I killed a man. I was at a party. I came through the hallway. There was a guy there, said something, bang, something happened. I stepped over and boom, they said I did it, but doesn't necessarily mean I did it. You're talking to somebody who just murdered somebody. You're the tough guy. You're the tough guy, teenager. You're tough. You're hard. Yeah. You like jumping on cars. You like beating up old people. You. Know the problem with beating up old people? Everything. Everything. Plus, old people don't recover from their injuries. There's a law that says you can't hit old people. Elderlies, you can't do it. You can't do it. But once you do, the judge doesn't have sympathy for you. They don't have sympathy when you pick on the elderly. They do not have any sympathy. They'll throw you in there with murderers, thieves, beggars. They'll throw you in there with cutthroats, and they'll say, good luck. Listen, there's a whole tank where dudes were getting banged in the ass. The whole tank, everybody in there getting sodomized. And the guards say, you don't even want to look in there. Wait, what? Guards was like, you don't even want to look that way. This is what he's telling everybody. The whole tank is in there screwing each other in the ass. And they're loud as hell. You do not want to go to jail. You don't want this. You little boys out there acting a fool, y'all do not want the business. You don't want it. Because if the judge decides, if he tells the guards to do whatever with you, listen, you're beating up old men and women, clocking them, and if one of them dies, what do you think they're going to do with you? What do you think they're going to do? Have you seen Eric Holder's face recently? Eric Holder, the one that shot Nipsey Hussle. Have you seen his face? Have you, listen, did you hear what the judge said to him? He says, I sentence you to life or however long that you last in jail. He said, listen, this is the judge, a white dude, white judge. He said, listen, all the gang members are going to be after you. He's talking to Eric Holder in court. He said, all the gang members are going to be after you. I'm sentencing you to life with no parole for however long your life lasts. And then he said, good luck. Next time you saw Eric Holder, his face was swell up. Eyes, face swelled up. You don't want the business. You don't know what you have no idea where a cup of coffee is coveted, where Kool-Aid is valuable, where a pack of crackers is worth $100. You don't know what it is when you're hungry and breakfast is already gone. Listen, they wake you up for breakfast at 4:30 in the morning. And people snack stuff off of your tray. You eat again at maybe 11:30. You eat again at maybe 4 or 5. You don't eat after that. That's it. All that high energy you have, you're gonna get slowed right down. You can't run into your mama's house. You can't go and steal it. Somebody's. You can't do it. You're going to lose weight. All that high metabolism, you're gonna slow down. Gel is methodical, and it's a well thought out plan to slow you down mentally and physically. Now you got people in there who are lifting. They even took the weights out of jail because people were coming out of their king swole. Now the people who are coming out of their swole is because they're doing a bunch of push-ups and sit-ups. But those guys been in there for 25 years. So they learned how to get around some of these systems. But listen, there's still a bunch of fighting and screwing in there. Oh, those guys aren't having a picnic. Those guys are having model shows, and there's a few guys who are playing the females. You think they're just playing females? You see the video where the dude came back from jail and seen his father, hadn't seen his father in a minute, and then his father sees him. He had on a whole dress and a wig, and he was out of jail. He was like, "Hi, Dad." His dad was like, "Hey, son, your son was getting raped in jail. And there wasn't a damn thing his skinny ass could do about it. Not one." As a matter of fact, they had an example where one dude was trying to help another guy because he felt sorry for him, this white dude. He felt sorry for the white dude, and the other dude said, "Listen, don't feel sorry for him. If he didn't want this to happen to him, he shouldn't have came here." You're out there doing crime, and when you get caught, this is where you're going to be. The majority of people in jail are not there by accident. This is the reality that some of these kids need to face. Some of these little girls need to go and sit in prison for about a good year. Go ahead, sit in prison, see if you like it. And I don't mean sit in prison with an 8-man tank, 8 females, and all giving you advice, and it's all clean in there. No, some of those girls are struggling. You know what their biggest struggle is? Tampons. They don't have enough. Those women are struggling. Another one is the guards. The guards are screwing them against their will. Another one is the male inmates. The guards will take the female inmates and give them to the male inmates. This happens. You don't understand. When you go to jail, you are not your own. You belong to the state. That's it. You belong to the state. The state can do what they want with you. When I got in a fight and I was in, they said, "Listen, what happens in here stays in here." I'm 6'2", and those guards made me look small. 6'4", 6'5", huge. Huge. This is what I think they should do with them. I think they should round up all those kids. They can recognize them by computer, whatever. I think they should get them all together, and I think they should go get them right now. I think they should say, "Look, we're tired of it. We're finished." And go and have a midnight raid and just raid all of their houses. I won't say anything. They know who they are. We're tired of it. Get a task force, go knock down their doors. Knock all their doors down. Knock them down. Either that kid comes out here or we're going to knock your whole door down. Bring him out. Put him in the back of a wagon. Boom. Where are you taking him? To prison. He's only 14. It doesn't matter. I'm taking them to prison. If you got something to say, I'll take you too. When's he coming back? Maybe a year or two. He doesn't want to go to school. He wants to sell drugs and, smack old people. No, he's going to prison. He's going to be there for about 2 years. All of them. His homies too. We're getting all of them. And that's what you do. Take them, put them in prison, lock them up. Don't take them to juvie. Take them to big boy prison. Lock them up. Let them fight for their food. Let them know what it's like to be fully taken advantage. You took advantage of old people. You took advantage of mothers just driving their kids to, to wherever. You want to jump on their car and, terrorize them. Fine. We're going to let you be terrorized for it. You're going to be terrorized for 2 years. Here you go. Have fun. And as soon as you get in there, they're going to terrorize you because you're small. Remember that kid that killed his little cousin? The little 12-year-old boy who did a belly flop on a little 8-year-old girl and killed her by accident. You know what they did to that kid? They put him in big boy prison. Next time they saw him on TV, he had marks all over his face. They beat that 12-year-old boy's ass. There's no way that kid should have been in there. It was a mistake. He didn't do it on purpose. They put him in full prison. They put him in prison. He's there now. 12 years old. He's probably like 20 now. Put these kids in prison. Let them face the reality. Let them look at these monsters that are in prison who don't play no games with nobody and will knock your damn teeth out for looking at them wrong. Let them see this for 2 years and let the word get out. Put them back on the street. Say, listen, you either obey society or you're going right back in here. And we're not gonna if, ands, or buts. We're not playing with none of you. Step out of line. Jaywalk. Look at somebody the wrong way. Act like you want to steal something. We're gonna put you in there for 20 years. And let that be the reason. Let some of these little girls go in there and struggle. Some of these old women in there know the deal. Like, honey, you shouldn't have came here. We're about to take everything you got. You're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to bargain for it. Somebody's going to have to come in here and get to put money on your books. Yeah. You're going to be crying in the corner. This is what you wanted. I'm sick of it. I think they should do it. I don't think they should kill any of them because I don't think they deserve death. I just think they need to go to jail for about a good year or two. And they need to go to big boy and big girl jail. They need to face the reality and know what, and I don't mean scared straight, because they took them there, but they didn't let them boys have at them. I'm talking about let them grown-ass men, teach you what it is. Get punched in your face a couple times. Yeah. Get your food stolen from you. Learn how to bargain. You're going to learn how to carry a shiv. You're going to learn something, or you're going to be up out of here. They're going to be selling your asshole for cigarettes. I'm tired of it. They tore that whole Walmart up. I'm sick of it. You got kids stabbing kids in school. Yeah, you're going to big boy prison. You just stab somebody with a knife. It makes so bad. The boy that stabbed the other boy said something to him as the boy walked past and said, I bet you won't come over here. That's premeditated. You cannot claim self-defense when you're the one who started it. You can't do it. And it's right there on video. they had a little argument or nothing, and he looked at the boy. The one boy was walking by, and he said, "I bet you won't come." He was already past him, meaning he had no intention on coming over there and fighting you, but you looked at him and you said, "I bet you won't come over here and do anything." And he accepted the challenge. And when he took a step towards you, you whipped out the knife and you stabbed him 3-4 times. You are now going to full prison as a child. Anyways, you guys want to talk about something else? That's cool. I just need to, me get the dust out of my face for a second. And yeah. Bad out here, guys. It's bad out here. Moving quick. I see you moving quick. I don't know about all that. Now let's deal with you and your as far as the gym is concerned. I'm gonna tell you what I did at the gym because I know you're about to give me your spiel. I'm gonna tell you what I did. So back on the treadmill. No, I'm not on treadmill. Okay, so I did leg press, and I think I did up to what? Those are 8 plates on each side. I don't know how much weight that is, but I put 8 plates on there. So I worked up to that. I started with 3, and then I did sets, and then I did 5 reps each set. So yeah, and after that, I went to a bench. I went to bench because everybody wants to use a bench. So I was like, "Oh, there's a bench free. Let me get on that." So I grabbed my bench on the Smith machine, and I know the weight is different when it comes to Smith machine. So I warmed up 135. Then I put 25 on each after that, warmed up some more. Then I hit 225. And then I went straight to 315, but it's less than 315, but 3 plates. And did that twice. And I did that 3 times. And then I put on a 25 on each end, so 365. Which there I think is actually like 345 because it's 15, 20 pounds less. So 340, 345, somewhere around there. And I did that once, and then I took off the 50s on each end. I put on the 10, so 315, 335. So really somewhere around 315. I only cranked that once. And then I was done there, and then I did some I did some tricep pull downs. After I did that, I did some. My back has been hurting, so I did some. You know, where you sit down on the machine and you pull one back, you pull back like that. I did some of that, and I also did some of the, some of that. Not a lot of weight on those, and I gotta hit the massage chair, and I was out. So that was my routine. I stayed a little longer than I wanted to, but my back was really hurting me, so I had to go to Planet Fitness because Planet Fitness has the chair and they have the bed massager. So I used both of those today, and yeah, I was in there getting it, bro. And I'm not even at full strength because I haven't even been eating a bunch. But once I got warmed up, man, after hitting those legs, even though my patella tendons are like, ouch. Also, I rode my bike today. So I took a real long path. It's like a 2-mile path, riding through some grass and concrete. Yeah, and I also did some, I was thinking about some stuff you was saying with doing back rows, where you take the straight bar and you're bent over, but you're pulling up. So I only had 60 pounds, but I was doing some of those too. So I was kind of, and because I remember what you were saying about bench pressing and your shoulders, how some back exercises helps your shoulders. So now I'm really concentrating on, trying to get that 405 on the Smith machine. But today I knew I wasn't going to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, bent over rows. So I did some of those. I just wanted to try some of that stuff out, and but once I got tired, I was out of there. So I was in there for a minute getting it. You know what I mean? I was like, let me make this video to show this dude that I do go to the gym. I'm just not, you're in there every day. The Terminator is not in there every day. Not every day. I even jogged a little bit yesterday, probably not even 100 yards, but I said, oh, okay. I said, oh, let me see how these knees are doing. What's happening is riding my bike and strengthening up my tendons. So what I've been doing is now that I'm getting used to riding, and I'm riding a beach cruiser, so it's not a fancy bike. It's got one gear, but I don't like to stand up because now I'm doing it for exercise. And riding it through grass is just, it's not need for grass at all. But that's where the world workout is. I done fooled around and lost 5 pounds, 6 pounds, messing around on that damn beach cruiser. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I lost some damn weight messing around with that beach cruiser. And but yeah, Chicago's lost. It's only going to be a matter of time before white folks get tired of us. What they're probably going to do is poison probably going to poison us again. That's what crack cocaine was. You see how many people died because of that? White people did that. We didn't bring it from across the water. They're the ones who put it in our area. And they didn't think nothing of it until, white women started snorting it and it got up into the suburbs. Yeah, they didn't care until the white women started doing it. It was like, oh no, we can't. Yeah, them white women started. That crack got them. I remember because there was white women start showing up in our hood. I was like, who are you? Yeah, she fell in love with a local drug dealer. He used to whoop her ass. His name was Carlos. Little redhead thing. Had her walking around in pajamas every day. She did not belong in our projects, but she couldn't let him go. He was a hell of an athlete, too. He was super quick. Super quick. He was just wild. He was the local drug dealer. He's just wild. He used to kick her ass. She didn't care. She was not leaving him. She didn't have no car, no nothing. Wherever she went, she walked. I was like, why? And one day I saw her, I was like, why do you let him do you like that? She's just like, it's okay. Pretty redhead. Pretty redhead. She did not care. She had to have her Carlos. And she was, listen, I think she was the only white woman in our projects. She had to have that dude, and he would whoop her ass in front of everybody. Because we used to come out on a summer night, and we would all race in the street and play basketball. And I mean, that's how I got recruited to go into the Army. The recruiter knew that we weren't going to go down there and, to his office. So he came to the hood at night and would stand on the block with us. Straight up. Straight up. I don't know who's here. It says one person. I think I lost my audience, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Ooh, it's tight, ain't it? It's tight. Yeah, my back is hurt. Ah, oh yeah. Woo, Daddy gonna sleep good tonight. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? lot of money today. I bet on the wrong horse. It sank. It sank. For the last 2 days, it has sank. See, yesterday it sank 80%. Today it sank 40%. Kicked my ass. Got my ass kicked. Lost so much money. Got my ass kicked. I can't do nothing about it. I don't know who's here. Who's here? I think one person is here. Oh, my back hurts. See, this. When I talk about my car accident, this is what I'm talking about. This is stuff I'm talking about. My back is hurting. I take some leave. Woo, it hurts. So who's left? There's one person here. Who's that? Is that Natalie? No, not Natalie. Probably you. It's probably you, isn't it? Hardaway. You're just working out? Okay, cool. I like this little jam. I like this little whack beat. What's up? How you doing? I'm just jamming now. Now that you want to talk about what the topic is about, but right now I'm just cooling out, jamming, making some music. Got a little nice little beat here. I'm just admiring. write a song to this. I could definitely write to this. What would I write about? Pick a topic for this beat. I need to eat some more. Pick a topic for this beat. Lover quarrel? No. Say something nice. Oh, that's a nice title. That's a nice title. Say something nice. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I can write to this. Not all energied up, so not right now, but I like it. It's not bad. For those of you who don't know, I make music. I just kind of clown around with beats, but sometimes people buy them. Sometimes somebody will say, "Go, want to buy that?" I sell them for $100, and then you can do what you want with it. You know what I mean? Some people use them on their videos, their YouTube videos, for their openings and stuff like that. So to date, I've only sold 3 beats, but cool. Yeah. I have not used this run here. I don't know what scale this is. I don't know what scale that is, but I haven't really used it. But I noticed that people who sing neo soul music like to use a scale. They like to use a scale. They like to use this here. Isn't that warm? This is D. D. D add 9. D7, 9. D6 and 9. That's because that is 9. So, no. This is a D6 and this is 9. This turns it into a C major 7, 14, C major 7, 11 sharp 13, or a D6, 11. But people love to use this because of the variations in it. That D6 is sharp, ain't it? D6. It's still D6. Listen. D6 and still D6. That's the 11th. But that's why people use it so much, is because there's so many variations. And then they like to take a simple beat and then they'll do something like this. But they'll make it soft like this. See how beautiful? Oh. Right. bridge. C, C sustain. As you can see, there's a lot of things you can do with this. This is not even using the black keys. You're only using this. So when you take a lot of the people will use a. Let me see. I'm not good at making this kind of music, but I really like to hear it because it's. All right, so. So, or they'll just go do something like that and then echo this out. So let's try that. This is a 1/16 BPM, beats per minute. Then I'll take this and just. All right, so then I'll take this, but I'm gonna put an echo on it. So. Of course, I need to fix the because it's hitting differently each time. It's hitting variations of harder and lighter each time. But to use that, I want these on different. So take this. You want to put a reverb on it. Make this reverby. Put a silver. There it is. So give it that type of feel. And make this bass, turn this bass down. It's not bad, but you want it to be like a punchy bass. You want it to be, so you want it to hit a little harder. So let me go to a punchy kick. Let me see. All right, so I'm gonna manipulate it. I'm gonna go to the EQ. I'm gonna turn down the highs in it. All right, give a little kick to it. Not much. Then I'm gonna go ahead and EQ the whole thing. Yeah. Bring up a spreader. Yeah. And then add a limiter. This is what kind of limiter is this again? This is add a limiter to it, and just to hear. I'm gonna take this limiter off, but I'm gonna add on an exciter because I want to bring up my highs a little bit. I want my highs to be boom. Yeah. Okay, not bad. All right. I'm gonna add a track, and I'm gonna come back to this scale. Once again, this is the scale. Yeah. Now those are notes, so you can just go. I'd rather use notes though. I mean not notes, like chords. So you see where I'm going with this. Alright, I messed that up, but I'm not a piano player. But it's easy writing too. This is why people use it so much. And some people will just stroll through it, so they'll go. So it all depends on what you do. Give that some space. Spread that out real good. Oh. Yeah. And let me go ahead and put a channel on it. Yeah. Take the highs out of it. And now I'm just going to change, put a reverb on it. am that good at making this music. I suck at this music. I suck at this type of music. Oh my god, I don't know why I suck so bad at these type of beats. But I do. Oh my god, I wish I could make the music that I love. I love this music, but I can't make it. I just need more practice, a lot more practice. I need so much more practice. And I need new instruments. All right, start off with something. Let's go to what I know. Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life from a broken heart. I was sitting there bored to death, and in just one breath, he said, "Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta get down." Last night a DJ saved my life. What's all this? I almost dug it. Almost dug it. Oh, I dig that a little bit. Everybody's gone. Thanks for stopping by. I'm still gonna do my thing though. You know, I'm going right to arpeggiator. Nobody's here. I can do what I want. I don't need to impress anybody. Turn this up too. Everybody's gone. Turn this up a little bit. Oh, can't my neighbor. My neighbor be sleeping. She don't be sleeping. She'll get mad and go off the deep end. Come about the house and then start peeping. Write everything down like she record keeping. Like I'm about she gotta go to work in the morning. Every time I play my music, she gone. I'll be like, listen, honey. When the dog respawn, I was with the door keyboard. I would beat to the early in the morning. See if it does it. It's okay. Let me find a bass. I'll start up with the bass in the place. Put the bass all up in the face. Put the little bass of the bass, make it lace. Everybody want a little taste of the bass. Get down. Let me get out. I'm trying to find something with this. Piano almost works. Change with the bass. Oh. Almost. It's almost madly sad. It's almost sad like Lemmy. Oh, Nelly, she's sad. I tried. I'm hungry. I tried. Tried to do an LA beat. Didn't work. Almost. Nobody's here anyway, so it don't matter. Tori Bowie dead at 32. Damn. Tori Bowie was pregnant. Somebody did my girl in. Damn. Oh, you were listening. I erased it. I didn't think nobody was here. Yeah, Tori Bowie was pregnant. she was visibly pregnant. I told y'all somebody killed her. At 32, they killed that woman. Oh. Like the little bee. Get it down, just mess around with it. gym, this ain't lifting music. If you're at the gym, I'll play some lifting music. I'm just messing around. I didn't know you was at the gym. Oh, okay. You just chilling, listening to me. You at home? You at the crib? Oh, it was leg day? Yeah, for me too. Oh, you just at the crib? Okay. Just chilling out, listening to the Tonganator. Oh, man. I just can't. Yeah. Yeah. Keep strong. Yeah, I'm just messing around, man. Try to find something to match the sound. I just gotta like the beat, like I don't really have nothing to match it though. Probably some horns or something, but hey, probably on a Pidgeotto. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. That's kind of cool. I only can get 4 reps, 250 max for front. Hey man, I only do 225 twice. That's it. I'm trying to tell you, that damn bike, I ain't realized what that bike was doing to me until recently. I was like, wait a minute. Let me get some more of this bike. Like, okay. Yeah, that bike is the truth. Yeah, that bike is the truth, man. That's hard. Yeah, that bike is the truth, man. Almost. Almost. Almost had a little something there. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Almost. Bang his head a little bit. Let the bang, 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 bang. So I wanted to really. I want. Hold on. A guitar chord. Guitar chord. Forgot which one it was. Forgot which one it was, man. It wasn't a guitar chord. It was a. Yeah, it wasn't a guitar chord. It was some kind of synthesizer. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, bro. this right here. For the bass. That's gonna be a real bear trying to find a bass. I thought out, you thought out the funk in it. Thought it was gonna be a funk type of. That's why I start off with the bass a lot. Because now I can't find, unless I go up here to a regular bass. No way. If I did, it'd have to sound like this. Yeah. This has to. You would have to have something. Actually, it'll have to be something like this. Yeah, you couldn't use that. It's too spacey and it's too sharp. So it glitches. It goes in the red. You would have to have something like real subdued. be something like that because all the other stuff is too mechanical. Almost had it. What did he say? What did Jamie Foxx say? We worried about Mr. Fox. They gonna get him. Billy Malone. He in trouble. He in trouble and we know it. That's all I can make up with this one. Yeah, Fox is in trouble. Love Jamie Foxx, but man, I don't know what encourages these people to get out there and say the stuff that they do. And they know the ins and outs of the business. You've been in the business for how long? Ain't nobody told you, Jamie, not to say anything. Don't talk about the stuff Puff Daddy does. Puff Daddy Puff Daddy. You talked about Puff Daddy. You mentioned Puff. You said Puff. You said you walked around with Puff at parties and you saw stuff. You were recording stuff and you saw stuff with Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy been killing people for 30 years. Puff Daddy's daddy been killing people. Puff Daddy's his boy used to run with, come out and start talking about Puff's daddy. Puff's daddy has a whole movie about how dangerous he was. Puff Daddy's daddy movie is called The American Gangster. That movie's about Puff Daddy's daddy. And you want to talk about Puff Daddy? Why? Why would we talk about Puff like that? The only people who can talk about Puff is the people who don't matter, like me. And we can only talk about it from the outside because we've never been on the inside. Because when Michael Jackson died, a lot of people were upset that he was paying homage to him on the BET Awards. Jamie Foxx was paying homage to Michael Jackson. Everybody paid homage to Michael Jackson. You got people in Asia, all over the world, dancing and singing like Michael Jackson. The Michael Jackson movement, will never die. Never die. Will never die. If he was alive today, he would pack out stadiums. It was last minute, huh? If Michael was alive today, he would pack stadiums out. Throw on that hat, them black pants, that white. And then throw on that glove. Then all you hear is it's over. It's over. It's over after he does that. They told you, don't you ever come around here. You better disappear. I mean, it's over after that. Just be there. Be there. No one wants to be defeated. Oh, okay. Oh, just beat it. It's over. It's over. Or you come out and sing Billie Jean. Billie Jean is my love. She's the girl that I ever want, but the kid is not my son. Smooth ass Michael Jackson on that Billie Jean video. Only earn that 15. Woo! Eyes were like mine. Who would dance on the floor and around. Woo! He killed him. How many millions of hits does the Billie Jean video have? I think Thriller has more, but Billie Jean was my straight up joint. It was that deal. Billie Jean, I am it. I am the one, but forget it is not. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh. Ah. I am the one. Oh, you know what you did. Get it out. And so many people try to match him. It's like, you can't match. You can't match Michael Jackson. Can't even come close. Eyes were like mine, who would dance on the floor and around. You can't match. People try to emulate the Michael. I think it's laughable, but I still like it. I'm like, yeah. See if you can match the Michael. You can't match. Nobody can match Michael. No one. Too many hits. The Thriller album still killing people. She bit the bitter. Nobody got me. Get out. You didn't have to know the words. You just, ooh. You bit the bitter. Get out now. Nobody got me. I mean, I wasn't with all the darkness, but just the pure genius of that dude. I felt sorry for him after a while, though. That's the way he looked. I was like, damn, you look completely different from when you were. As Jamie Foxx says, I got a light-skinned girl look like Michael Jackson. I got a dark-skinned girl look like Michael Jackson. She was ready for the world. I was ready for some action. It's like, damn. He's bigger than Sammy. Sammy couldn't touch Michael. Sammy was a dancer, singer, musician. Bad Sammy. But Sammy, bad as he was, didn't have them white people, didn't have them white girls pulling their damn hair out, falling out on stage. We in church? I'm only church chords. I'm just trying to. Michael! Oh my God! Michael! She's what? Michael Jackson! Hey. Michael! Tell me something you're in place of church. I don't know how to play church. I'm just messing around.
This didn't work out.